Welcome back to Nobody's Safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. It has been an unsafe week for the Pac-12. A very unsafe week for the Pac-12.
And a very unsafe year for the Big 12, just for everybody other than SEC and Big Ten.
Hey, yeah,
it's been unsafe.
Isn't it crazy? I'm your host, Jason Watkins. Welcome back to Nobody's Safe. I'm here with a friend of me, Bryce Pinson. We're talking football. We're talking realignment. We've done some videos on our own leading up to this, but time for us to talk about it a little bit together. And listen, guys, the first thing I want to do is hey, we did great numbers on our videos for this stuff alone. Please continue to like and subscribe. If you want to keep seeing us, stick with us here and subscribe. Hit the bell. You'll get every time we're going to come on, you're going to get a notification. We want to be on here more often, but we need some love to get that done. You can check us out on Patreon too, and kind of support us for that as well if you want to. Check it out, guys. The Pac-12 with USC and UCLA last Thursday. You know, we're looking at 1 week since that happened. Folks, to me, I mean, that was the death knell, it seems like to me. And I'm not only, it almost seems like the only way that they stay alive to me is if them and the Big 12 completely join together and become a 24-team league or something. What do you think about that?
I do agree. I do agree they need to come together. But you said something that kind of started to turn some stuff in my brain, and the death knell, the death shot. Them moving over. I mean, and the Pac-12 has been a disaster for a while. I know that your big schools are USC and UCLA.
Yeah. Well, and when they're not good, when USC's been junk because they have.
Yeah.
Been.
But I'll tell you what I was hopeful for. I was hopeful for the Pac-12 to rebound, but because of Lincoln Riley.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was pumped about that. However, it was just going to be USC. It wasn't going to be the rest of the Pac-12. My thing is Utah. I mean, you still got Utah over there. You still got Oregon. You got Stanford. You got some good schools. Actually, those three schools have been better than USC and UCLA for the last, 5 years? They've been keeping
definitely. Well, Stanford hasn't been. The thing is that Stanford fell on hard times for the last 4 seasons, man. And they've got. It's so weird. Not since Andrew Luck, they were better. They were fine after that.
Oh, with Christian McCaffrey too.
Yeah, after Christian McCaffrey, they went to.
There you go.
So
that's what it was.
The thing, but Oregon, of course, has been great. And Utah, hey, listen, one thing I'm going to say about them, and I mean, we've talked about this before. Kyle Whittingham is the best coach nobody knows about in the country.
Yeah.
The dude should have had a big time job a long time ago. And because he has turned Utah into a big time job. Yeah, look, they've never been better since Urban Meyer left. They have never been this close to that good. But that being said, it's not just about that though. We're talking about it's a TV dollar thing. And the truth of it is Salt Lake City is never going to. Is it going to matter? I don't know.
No,
here's
no
the
doubt.
deal. But what you have to do if you're the Big 12, and this is what we're going to talk about first is the Big 12. Because here's what's going on with the Big 10. We should probably talk about this too. They're making a move because they know since the SEC grabbed Oklahoma and Texas last year that they knew, they did that handshake agreement crap with the ACC and the Pac-12, but they knew they were going to have to make a move or they were going to die along with everybody else. So they went and got SC and UCLA. Their thoughts are to get Notre Dame because Notre Dame is a rival with everybody in there between, UCLA, USC especially, and then, of course, all the Big Ten schools are already rivals of theirs because they're in the same freaking area. So there's no reason why that they shouldn't do it. Now, whether Notre Dame does or not, we'll talk about that in a minute. But the Big 12, they screwed up allowing Texas and Oklahoma to get away, and they did that by messing up the Big 12 or with the Fox deal and allowing Fox to put them on at noon all the time when they hated it. And then not adding to the conference before they didn't have 12 teams anymore. And it pissed them off. It pissed them off and put them in a bad position. Huh?
Who screwed up worse, though? Who do you think screwed up worse, the Pac-12 or the Big 12? Because,
I don't think that the Pac-12, it wasn't so much the Pac-12 screwing up as it was the fact that USC, I mean, they did have some missteps, I believe, but I really believe that the Pac-12 it's a hard thing because they play that late at night shit, on the East Coast, nobody's watching them.
Well, here, let me just back up then. What if you could pick, your top 10 schools, if we're going to realign, we're going to put Big 12, Pac-12, and you're going to pick your top 10 schools, I think I would rather have some of these Pac-12 schools more than I would want these Big 12 schools. You lose Oklahoma, Texas, schools? I'm looking at I'd rather have the Pac-12 schools.
Listen, of what's left, no. I mean, who's left? Disagree? Who's left that's good other than Utah and Oregon?
But same with the Big 12. Who's left? Kansas State, Oklahoma State.
No, Oklahoma State's the best one, and Baylor, and Baylor's never usually good, but they are now. But okay. Texas but they have Cincinnati Tech, coming in, and they have BYU coming in.
Okay.
They have Cincinnati
BYU's
coming in and BYU
West.
coming in.
No one cares. I get Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati. Mountain West, no one
UCF,
really cares.
UCF has made a move.
But do you hear what we're talking about? We're
talking
about
agree
teams
with you. Hey, listen, that's why I was saying. That's why I was saying yes, the Big 12 screwed up way worse. You asked the question, the Big 12. They fucked it up.
Yeah.
They did. And there's no two ways around it.
Has Stanford, still has Oregon, still has Washington. Those are three name brand. Well, maybe not Washington as much, but they got two name brand schools.
Washington's been really good. Washington's been really good, man. That's the thing is they are good. But here's the thing: they're holding out for the Big Ten because they want the money too. That's $80 million per team. They've both applied. Washington and Oregon have both applied to the Big Ten. They're waiting to see what's going to get said by Notre Dame. We'll figure it out, but. My feeling is this. This is where, I feel like one of them has to freaking step forward and get it done. But to be honest with you, even if, let's say the Big 12 wins and they pulled the conference together and they get, say, the Arizona schools, Utah, they're in talks with Arizona State, Utah, and who else was it? There was one more. Oh, Colorado.
Oh,
Colorado. So they're in talks with those four, which to me, they should be definitely talking to Oregon first and Washington, but that's whatever. In any event, if they get those four, what do you really win? Because 3 or 4 years from now, then the SEC and the Big Ten are just going to envelop you too. And if you don't get something good enough to where, okay, let's say if the best teams left in that conference are going to be Oklahoma State, Utah, what?
Yeah, dude.
What's going to keep them from going to the SEC or the Big Ten when they come calling in a few years?
No doubt.
You're just prolonging it. The only way to really make sure that this is going to happen is for the entirety of you guys to just merge.
Yeah.
I really feel that way. That's the only way that they survive. In the long run, you don't survive otherwise. You need all of them. You need all of them from one side and all of them from the other, or you are screwed.
You might even need to call the ACC up and see if they want to merge too.
Absolutely. Anybody you can get. You know why? Yeah. Because if you could get the ACC, you got the basketball schools. That would help because that's the one thing that the Pac-12 is still good at is hoop.
Yeah.
So imagine if you had Carolina and Duke in the same thing. Yeah. And Baylor's been great in basketball. Texas Tech has gotten good all of a sudden in basketball. Yep. Hey, there's your chance. But in order to do that, you have to get all these guys. And just a few of them isn't going to matter. Yeah. Just a few of them is not going to matter. Because it may matter for now, but you're just prolonging your death. That's all you're doing.
The only thing I would say is I would just make the argument that, as bad as USC and UCLA, I get the money side of things are, but as bad as UCLA and USC have been, the Pac-12 didn't lose much as far as their opportunity to play in a national championship, where the Big 12,
yes, they did.
If you beat Texas and Oklahoma, you're playing in the national championship. You're getting to the playoffs. You beat UCLA and USC.
Gone. They're gone.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, man, the Big 12 lost two big primetime schools, and I just don't feel like the Pac-12s were as big of a loss. Because
yes, they
USC
were,
and
dude,
UCLA,
because they were USC is right up there with anybody in national championships, and they got Lincoln Riley. You said it yourself.
Yeah, I said that. I get you. All I was saying, in the last 5 years, it just seems like the Pac-12 stayed the same. That's all I said. Last 5 years.
Yeah, there's definitely been, they've missed, they've screwed up on their own, and there's no two ways around it. And like I'm saying, I'm not telling you that they hadn't messed up. I'm telling you that I know, because I'm an Oklahoma fan, I know what the Big 12 did wrong.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Very well. That they've screwed up a lot of things to screw that thing up and lose it. And it took all of it. And Bob Bowsby acted like, well, they just did it behind my back. Dude, they've been trying to get you to do the right thing for years. It's like how I feel about Liv and the PGA Tour. The players have been trying to get the tour to do it right for 10 years, and they keep pushing them back. Anyway, same deal. It was the same thing there. But in the end, I guess the message that I'm getting across is that I feel like, if anything, that those two conferences have got to merge. Otherwise, whoever wins out and gets a few of them, what good does that do? I don't think 4 does it for the Big 12. I just don't think it does. And I don't think that the Pac-12 can survive unless they get the entire Big 12. I think that they have to merge.
Well, looking at the clock, either way, I would like to see all 3 of them merge. That's my last thought. I just hope they
and I like that idea better. I think that if you could do that, then you're even better off. But I think that may be the only way that you save it. That's it.
Because you're only going to have 2 major conferences. The only way you get 3 is not by keeping the ACC. It's by getting them all 3 together.
I agree.
You're only going to have 2. Unless you do that.
And I think that the ACC wouldn't necessarily. I don't know that Duke and Carolina leave, but I get it, man. I get it. Well, hey guys, let us know what you think. What is the only way that these 2 conferences can survive? Because I know a lot of people are upset. I mean, I know. Look, if you're a SC fan, it's not probably bothering you too much. If you're a SC UCLA fan, but it's got to worry you a little bit that now all of a sudden you can't just run up the coast and go watch them play Stanford anymore, because they're not gonna. And you can't just run. You can't. Now you got to jump on a flight and go cross country to go see it. What do you think? And what's going to happen to the regional rivalries? I'm hoping that they can preserve that, but is this something everybody's worried about too? I mean, I don't know. I think that we've seen the end of what we knew college football to be. So does that bother you? Let us know in the comments. Tell us where we're wrong. Tell us where we're right. Hey, I'd love to. I mean, the one from the other day, I had some great comments in there. I enjoyed going through those from the other day. We had a lot of views. There's like 20,000 views now. That's awesome.
Smart people. A lot of smart people.
A lot of smart people in there, man. For real. And the truth of it is, man, are we right? Do they have to find a way to merge this thing in order for this to work? Let us know. Guys, we'll see you on the next one.